Does anybody else have one of those days where you're just depressed and crying and I guess lonely?
If you're having a bad day, just remember that I'm really lonely. I'm really sad.
Something I had to learn is that it's okay to admit that you're lonely. I think as a strong, independent
man, madam, what's keeping you single and lonely is yourself.
No one can relate. I'm starting to feel crazy. I feel like I've been chronically lonely since like 2020.
Can we please normalize being nervous that you're never gonna find your person?
I am indeed in a journey to become a single mom by choice.
Is it normal to feel?
Well, what we need to normalize is picking better. There's lots of broken souls out there. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Because I am so lonely. It's not because of lack of courage. I'm lonely because I'm brave.
Another day of doing everything by myself because I'm single and I have no friends. But at least I don't have fake people in my life and I'm not getting cheated on, so we're winning.
You guys always ask me, Carly, are you single? Yes, I am, by choice. Just not my choice.
If you're having a bad day, just remember that I'm really lonely. I'm really sad. And apparently, studies show that the most lonely people are the most attractive people. So, if you're having a bad day, just know that even attractive people suffer. Even the prettiest people on the planet Earth suffer. You know, I've been crying all evening about the fact that I'm lonely and I'll never find my nerd boyfriend that I'm dreaming of, but it's okay because the most attractive people are the loneliest, and that's just a fact. And unfortunately, it's just the way we go because people are too scared to approach us because we're so pretty. And no one talks about how hard it is being the prettiest person, you know, having everything going for you. No one talks about it. Because it's really difficult. It's actually really isolating when you're the most perfect person on the planet Earth and no one wants to talk to you because of it. It's debilitating.
This is sort of a fallacy. If these women really want to be in relationships, why don't they make the first move and approach the guy they want? Instead, what they do is complain that they're lonely, complain they want relationships, but never make an effort to change it. They wait for men to approach them, expecting guys to do all the work, yet still demand equality in every other area of life. It's almost as if they want to maintain a double standard, where they expect men to chase and prove themselves, while they sit back and act as if their mere presence is enough. If you truly want something, wouldn't it make sense to take action toward getting it? These same women often criticize men for not stepping up, but fail to reflect on how they contribute to their own loneliness by being passive.
Can we please normalize being nervous that you're never gonna find your person? Like everyone's always like, you're in your 30s, you have plenty of time. No? Have you seen the dating options? Have you seen the dating pool these days when you're in your 30s? It's not pretty.
I am absolutely sick and tired of going on dates and people are interviewing me to see if I'm a good person. I don't want to be a good person anymore. I'm fucking bored. They're like, oh, are you family oriented? No. I hate them all and I'm a whore. Next question.
I'm just having a really hard day and I try to get ready.
That women tend to be happier when they are single.
I could have married a lot of the people that I've dated.
If you hear something or an update about your ex and it just kills you.
Women tend to be happier when they are single.
Struggling financially, being alone, having no one there to talk to as you age, you know, no kids.
And I always thought I would have kids. I thought I would be married by now. And now the closer I get to it and I'm scared. I don't know.
I didn't think it would be an issue. I'm 32 years old.
I'm 53. I would like to think that I'm still young, right?
The fact that you're 40 and single, still with no children, and now you find out that she's 8 weeks pregnant, and you so want to feel happy for her, but inside, inside you feel so sad.
Happier when they are single.
I'm in a stage of life where I'm watching all my friends get married and have babies, and
you know that at 40, you're running out of time, and soon you won't have a choice at all.
Well, these women don't seem happy to me at all, and they're all single. They all seem like they're regretting their decisions, regretting not having kids, wishing they could go back and start over again. It's as if the life they thought would bring them freedom and fulfillment turned out to be empty and unfulfilling. They pursued careers, casual relationships, or a carefree lifestyle, but now they're faced with the harsh reality that those things don't provide the same lasting joy and meaning as family and true partnership. What's even more striking is that many of them won't admit this openly. Instead, they'll put on a brave face, posting on social media about their travels, their accomplishments, or their independence. But behind closed doors, the cracks in the facade start to show.
And I'm just wondering, am I the only person like completely struggling? Am I the only one? Because I've been single a very long time.
Do you ever think about living in Los Angeles? Think again. This is the most lonely place ever, and they make you pay your arm.
I turned 25 this week, and if I'm honest, I'm terrified. I'm terrified because I feel like a failure. And I don't know if anyone else watching this understands that feeling, but my life looks nothing like I thought it would at this age. When I was a kid, I always said by 25, I'll be married or I'll have a kid. I'll have this amazing career. And I've done a lot of cool things, don't get me wrong. But I'm about to be 25, and most nights I go to bed feeling so lonely. And then most days I wake up feeling lost, like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I have this overwhelming thought of, is this it? Is this all there is? When you're 25 years old and you live alone and you have no partner and you have maybe 2 friends and you've struggled with mental illness your entire life, there's just not much to wake up for, is there?
Another reason why some of these women feel single and lonely is because of prioritization. In their younger years, many chose to focus on playing the field rather than settling down. They prioritized fleeting excitement over building something meaningful and lasting. Now, as they grow older, they see their friends starting families and experiencing the joys of committed relationships, while they're left to face the consequences of their choices, loneliness, and regret. The issue is that many of these women believed they had unlimited time. They put their energy into casual flings or chasing men who weren't serious about them, assuming they could settle down later. What they didn't account for is that time moves fast, and as they age, their dating pool changes.
I also feel like I'm getting older, and it's like I have to put some effort into dating or I'm just going to be alone forever. But now I'm just honestly getting to a point where I'm just going to be the single aunt.
But like it's really hard when like I don't really have anyone to go to like on a Friday night.
Maybe I should just give up. But I don't know. Then I feel like if I give up, then it's like, then I'm totally throwing the towel in, and like that sounds and feels sad.
But really, this is crazy. It's been a rough month for me, and I got COVID. Somebody help me. I'm so tired of being an independent woman sometimes. Sometimes, like, I just want to be taken care of. You know, my whole life, I've just been so independent.
At the end of the day, the only person you truly have is yourself. And not gonna lie, it gets kind of lonely sometimes. The older you get, all of your friends get into relationships, start having families, start doing their own thing. Same with your siblings. And your parents have their own lives. And I am like someone newly single. It's been a couple months. But what really hits me is like you have no one to share the little things with. Because usually in high school, you would share it with your best friends. As you get older, you find a partner, you would share it with your partner. But now, when you're single, it's like, who do you share it with? I'm not gonna go call my friends. They're all busy with their own lives. Your parents don't understand it completely because they're a whole different generation. And then you don't have a partner to share it with. And it's like, I feel like no one actually cares. And I have learned that the only person you have is yourself, so you can only rely on yourself. Sorry if it's hard.
In this woman's case, she wouldn't be in the predicament of feeling lonely if she had followed in her friends' footsteps. While her friends were dating with the intention of finding something serious, building relationships, settling down, and starting families, she was likely chasing other priorities such as casual flings, personal freedom, or even unrealistic ideals of the perfect partner. It just makes you wonder what she was doing wasting all that time, as though she thought she could hit pause on life while everyone else moved forward. Instead of taking relationships seriously when she had the chance, she may have believed that the grass was always greener, keeping her options open and jumping from one temporary situation to the next. Perhaps she thought that she'd always have time to find Mr. Right, or that the same level of attention and opportunities she enjoyed in her youth would always be there. But life doesn't work that way. Time doesn't wait, and neither do people.
All right, it's Saturday at 1:40 p.m. and here's what your Saturday looks like as a girl who is 30, single, and lives alone. This is coming from a girl who in her 20s thought that the worst thing that you could ever be was 30 and single.
And people go home to their families or partners or whatever, and you go home to an empty house.
Okay, I'm turning 30 in 3 months, 90 days from today. And so I figured since I'm still single, it's probably a good idea to consider freezing my eggs.
Freeze your eggs. Freeze your eggs as early as you possibly can. When they call you and tell you that none of them worked, like,
You know, like they're mature, but like when you actually do the testing after making embryos, like I, in theory, could have nothing.
I think they even used the word discarded. They said they've all been discarded. I really thought this process would like slow down my biological clock and I wouldn't feel as much pressure. And I feel way more pressure now.
For me, freezing my eggs allows me to fulfill my dreams on my own timeline without depending on a man or my biological clock.
This is a misconception many women have when it comes to freezing their eggs in their 30s or older. They think it's like a walk in the park, not fully understanding the risks or the limitations involved. Many believe that modern medicine has removed the biological clock entirely, but that's far from the truth. When they finally decide to go through the process and receive the bad news that their egg quality is low, reality hits hard and they start to freak out. It's a harsh wake-up call, but it's all biology. The body doesn't wait, and by the time they realize this, it's often too late. What many don't understand is that egg freezing isn't a guarantee of future fertility. It's a backup plan with no certainty of success. As women age, the quantity and quality of their eggs naturally decline, and the chances of retrieving viable eggs diminish significantly after 35. Even if eggs are successfully frozen, fertilization and implantation rates drop as egg quality decreases.
Me, if I showed up on your doorstep wearing this outfit and I asked to come inside and
Yeah. I think the worst part about being single is you don't have anybody that you can call or text immediately when you wake up from a nightmare.
Something I had to learn is that it's okay to admit that you're lonely. I think as a strong, independent Black woman, as a strong, independent woman, I think it is like this notion of you take care of yourself. And like, I think people look at me and they're like, you're so strong, you go on these trips, you do all these things. And yeah, I do that, but I still like crave partnership, right, and companionship. And I think in my last video when I shared that I went out to eat by myself because I was lonely, it's okay to admit that, like, yeah, some days I do want to lay on the couch and cuddle, right? Like, I do a lot for myself. And in this economy, taking care of your house, paying your bills, doing all the things by yourself is draining. So shout out to you if you also do that. But it is okay to do all those things and still want and crave, like, the intimacy that comes with spending time with someone, right? Going on dates, all the things. I think the moral of what I'm saying is that it's okay to be lonely. It's okay to want to go on dates, right? It's okay to crave intimacy. Like, these are normal feelings. So don't ever feel bad about it. And I think if we shared it more, it would just help. So this is me sharing it more. Have a good day.
It's okay to crave intimacy indeed. After all, humans are social beings who naturally desire connection. But being strong and independent has nothing to do with wanting somebody simply because they're lonely. The issue is that many women wear this label of strong and independent like a badge of honor, expecting it to make them more appealing. However, identifying with that word alone is already a turn-off for most men. Why? Because when men hear strong and independent, it often comes with the implication that she doesn't need or value a man in her life. In her case, it's probably the reason why she's single and lonely, making it her whole personality. It's not the traits of strength or independence themselves that are unattractive. Those are great qualities in the right context. It's the attitude that sometimes accompanies them, a sense of superiority, unwillingness to compromise, or the vibe that a man would be nothing more than an accessory in her life.
Pretty girls are lonely, okay? I don't make the rules. And I'm not even trying to be like, oh, I'm so pretty, but I was fat and I was ugly, okay?
Like, I'm okay with not having friends. I'm freaking okay with that because I like to be alone. But when it comes to like these social things, I'm like, let's avoid it because I don't have any friends.
Actually, the reason why most women, both modern, traditional, and futuristic, are choosing to remain single is because of this comment. The way you use the word alone. I think men translate their fear to us. Men are very fearful of being alone because they know that they fare better when they have a female partner. So men have a fear of being alone. Women don't, because we're not alone. Women have entire communities. Men are the ones that are alone in nursing homes, not women. We build communities, relationships. By and large, our children are around to take care of us. So we're fine. But you lobby this term alone like it's supposed to be something that we're scared of. There's also a difference between being alone and being lonely. And I think that's something that you need to understand the difference with. So you can be in a room full of people and still be lonely. But most women don't fear being alone because what they want most of all is peace of mind.
I would have to disagree, madam. If women were perfectly happy being alone, they wouldn't be out here asking for men or constantly talking about how hard it is to find a good man. The very fact that so many women are vocal about their struggles with loneliness and relationships proves that they're not content being by themselves. On the other hand, men don't have this same fear of being alone. In fact, most men have grown comfortable in their own company, focusing on their goals, hobbies, and personal growth without feeling the need to chase after women for validation. What's happening now is a noticeable shift. Men have stopped paying women any mind and have completely stopped wasting their time approaching them. Why? Because they've realized that the effort rarely leads anywhere meaningful anymore. Modern dating dynamics often leave men feeling unappreciated, used, or undervalued. Approaching a woman nowadays comes with the risk of rejection, ridicule, or being labeled creepy, even if the intentions are genuine. For many men, it's simply not worth the hassle.